Hey, what's up, guys? Um, I know it's only been 24 hours since I recorded the last video, but if you watch that video, like I said, I just have so much on my mind, so much to think about. Uh, my job, I do a 5, 6 hour pharmaceutical route every day, so it allows me a lot of time to just think and procrastinate about things I'd like to get out there in the open. So here I am, 24 hours later, making another video already. But before I go any further, there's a food crumb. I need to clean up. Gonna get bugs in here. Autism. Everything I blame it on autism. Um, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, before I go any further, I need to come up with a name for my YouTube channel. So help me come up with a name for it. Autistic related, faith related. Um, Those are two things I plan, to talk a lot about on that channel would be my autism and talk about my faith. My faith is very important to me. But I've made some notes today. I thought about so much stuff, but I forgot it all by the time I got home. So I had to think again and write some notes about some things I want to talk about. But yeah, first and foremost, the first thing is I want to come up with a name for my YouTube channel. So y'all, if you're watching this, help me come up with a name for my channel. And also, would you like to be a part of it? Would you like to collaborate with me on it? I would like other people, to be able to share their stories as well. So if you're interested in doing that, I want to make it a public group and, invite you to collaborate. So send me your information and we'll get that set up. But first, we need a name. But about my church, I go to Authentic Church in Hickory over beside Planet Fitness in Beaumont on 127. Great church, love my church. The only issue is I don't know anybody there. I mean, I know names and talk to people in passing, but it's a very Elevation style church. Used to go to Elevation Church in Charlotte, so it's a lot like Elevation Church, very much. In fact, some of the leaders and stuff in the church, came from Elevation. But it's a fast-growing church. We're getting ready. We're renovating a building, the old Clements Center over off 321 beside the Crawdad Stadium. We're getting ready to move in there probably, I'd say, within a few months. We're having our Awaken Conference in June, so look that up. I don't know the dates right offhand. I'd have to look them up, but that's going to be awesome. If you want to see some awesome worship music and be a part of that, got Tasha Layton and Torrin Wells coming. If you listen to 106.9 or any Christian radio station, you know who they are. And Nate Diaz from Elevation Rhythm is leading worship. Got a lot of wonderful Christian speakers, preachers. Get to hear our worship band. So yeah, get your tickets for that, or talk to me more about it. I can get you more information. But yeah, we have a great church. But I go alone every week, or I watch it online. So, to be real with you, totally honest, I've been going a lot lately because I feel so alone by myself. So I go in there and it just feels weird, feels awkward. I feel like I'm the only one that shows up alone. So yeah, it just feels weird. So if you're looking for a church home and you want to go to church with me, hit me up. That'd be great. I'd love to, have somebody go to church with, or I'll go to your church or whatever. But I do love my church. I just don't have any friends there, and I think that's an important part of your Christian walk is to walk in unity with other believers. Um, and I don't let me set the record straight. I don't judge anybody who don't go to church. Uh, if you don't believe in God or atheist or whatever, I mean that's not for me to judge. That's for God to judge. Um, so I'll leave that at that. I am way more spiritual than I am religious. I don't even consider Christianity a religion, but again, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that. Um, the next thing is moving on. I am part of a local autism group called I'm Autism. I'm optimistic or something. I can't think the name right off the hand. Optimistic Autism. Um, so if you're not a part of that group, if you have autism in the Catawba Valley area, uh, Burt, Caldwell, Catawba, if you live within 30 miles of Hickory, whatever, there's a great autistic meetup group that meets. They have been meeting once a month. It's probably been close to a month since we had the last one, so I would say another meetup is coming soon. Just haven't heard the details of it yet. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. The problem with that group, for me anyway, is everybody in that group seems way younger than me. Uh, a lot of them may be at a higher on the autism spectrum than me, so um, can't totally relate to them, although I feel like anybody that's on the spectrum can, relate to each other in that regard. But a lot of them, I think, have caretakers and, need more assistance than I'm what they refer to as level 1 autism, which means, I can drive, I can feed myself, take care of myself, go out to dinner, and I'm, I guess, what you would call barely autistic. But nonetheless, I'm still very autistic at the same time. Barely, but very. Autism it's difficult, y'all. It's complex. It's complicated. That's the word I was looking for. It's a complicated diagnosis. Uh, just because I may be lower on the spectrum than the next person doesn't mean I need any less attention. I need a lot of attention. I'm starving for attention. um, I want to make friends. I want to. That's another thing on my list to talk about. I'm looking for any type of relationship, romantic, friendship. I mean, I'll take whatever I can get. Um, I have a weakness, I guess you would say, that I haven't been on a date in forever. Uh, I was in a relationship with this girl for, good Lord, probably about 12 years or more, 15 years. She lived with me and my grandma. She helped take care of my grandma mostly. But she was my girlfriend. We never slept together. in case you didn't know, people with autism, at least me anyway, I'm an open book. I put it all out there. I'm honest, sometimes too honest. That's an autistic trait that a lot of us have. So yeah, I don't hold back. But anyway, she lived with me and my grandma. She helped care for my grandma a lot in her, older later days. My grandma's getting all up there. She just, as I say in the last video, she just passed away not long ago. But she was way more serious about me than I was about her. For lack of a better term, just calling it as it is, she took care of my grandma. And me and her were mostly just friends. She went and did things with me. I'm more outgoing than what she is. So she would go skiing with me, go to concerts, and we'd go do things together, but everything we would do would be just kind of what I want to do, and she was just tagging along, if you know what I mean. But we had several conversations about what would you like to do. Let's go on a date, do something you want to do. But she grew up very sheltered. She had a disability too. She was on, she drew a disability. She couldn't work a job. She drew a disability check from the government. And I've always, up until recently, just done gig apps, DoorDash and stuff for the last 15 years. And so I never really had a real job either. So sadly, we were just living with my grandma. Didn't have a lot of bills to pay. It was a good situation for both of us, financially speaking. Then, I guess it's been about 3 years ago, she moved in with my aunt because she was getting too much. My grandma's big one. She was getting too much for, us to care for her. So she had to move with my aunt, and I moved over here to my parents' basement. I got a bedroom back there, got my own bathroom, a kitchen over there. I'm not going to turn the camera around. It's messy over there. But I got it made here. I really do. But I have to pay rent here. I wasn't paying rent at Grandma's. I'd buy groceries. Me and April would buy groceries. We would buy food and stuff. And I would pay some rent occasionally. Help her out with bills and stuff. But it wasn't consistent like it is here. Here I had to pay. I'm not gonna disclose the price, but it's a good price. But I pay rent every month to live here. A fair amount. My parents would probably say a less than fair, a very fair amount. But it's what I can afford to pay. Let's just say that. Those of you that responded to my last video, I got a response while I was out on the road today working from this girl in our autistic group, local group, and she really resonated with a lot of stuff I had in my last video. So that was really cool, finding at least one person that resonated, related to very closely to what I would describe in that video. So yeah, but again, everybody in that group is young, and I don't know if she's married or or what, but I just know everybody in that group's probably too young for me to date or whatever. But I was really stoked to to get a message from her and to hear that she related to it. Uh, but yeah, I'm interested in making new friends, and I would like to to hang out outside the autistic monthly meeting. But like I was saying, a lot of those people I think have their parents care for them or something. They're what you'd call level 2 and level 3 autistic. I'm level 1. If there's levels, there's what from my podcast, listening to podcasts, there's 3 levels, and I think I'm level 1 based on my report, and I think most of the people that go to that monthly meeting are level 2 or level 3. So I hate putting labels on stuff, but I just feel like it's important to relay what I'm trying to say. That's all, Uh, but yeah, growing up, I never. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, not looking at the camera. I space out a lot. My mind's always wandering, but I never used drugs, hard drugs, or anything. Point that out there. Um, I'm very open about my feelings. I'm an open book. Um, I trust people very easily. I will. I will tell you anything. I'll answer any question you ask me. I will say what's on my mind. Uh, I will give you the brutal, honest truth always. I will hurt your feelings. I've hurt a lot of people's feelings, but you will get the truth. As far as socializing, I don't go out a lot. I don't go to bars or anything. I would like to go out more and meet people. I'm not a drinker, so if I went out to a bar, it'd just be just to drink some Coke or Sprite or something. Sweet tea. I love sweet tea, sun drop, cheer wine. Those are my things. So yeah, just to drink non-alcoholic beverages. Uh, but yeah, I'd like to go out and meet people, but the problem is I'm not comfortable approaching people. I'm very shy when it comes to a group in social environment like that, bars or outings. I don't approach people very well. Um, very bad at reading a room. um, Another thing I've learned about a lot of people with autism, at least me, a lot of people, from what I understand, people on the spectrum, uh, when it comes to dating and showing your interest, a lot of times you have to come right out and say it. So if a girl was eyeing me from across the room, winking at me and just giving me the googly eyes and all that stuff, I'd be like, yeah, great. But unless she walks right up to me and says, hey, I like you, I'm never going to get the hint. So you just got to say it. Back to what I was saying earlier, I get sidetracked, go one way, another, come back to it. Going on dates and stuff. I'm bad about going on a date. Again, I haven't been on a date in forever, but I'm bad about going on a date and then just one date making it exclusive and say, yeah, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's do this again. So I need to learn how to date. I need to learn that it's okay to go on a date and then realize that she's not the one, that it's just not meant to be, and you just keep dating. Uh, we live in a society where ghosting is a real thing, and I don't want to disrespect anybody like that. I would never ghost anybody. That's just not me. I wouldn't want I believe in treating other people's like I want to be treated. Uh, my parents would probably disagree with that comment, but I do. I try to treat people like I want to be treated. Uh, didn't always do that. In my last video, I was mean to kids. I was mean to a lot of people growing up when I was younger and stuff. But anyway, that's in the past. I'm an adult now. I try to take things more seriously, and I treat people the way I want to be treated, or at least I try to. So yeah, I wouldn't ghost anybody. I'd like to go out on dates and stuff, and learn that, hey, if you don't connect, it's okay. In the worst case scenario, you make a new friend. So I need to learn how to do that, and not just jump straight in head over heels into a new relationship. I probably wouldn't have wasted 12, 13 years with my last girlfriend if I did that, because we got serious fast. But the thing is, it was never serious. We got serious fast, but it was never a serious relationship. You know what I mean? We never, we kissed a few times, but we never, you know. um, I know I'm not sharing too much here. Um, what's the other thing? Yeah, I find it hard to approach people. Oh, my opinions. I'm very opinionated. That's part of speaking my mind. Uh, I feel unheard. Uh, the only people I talk to, like I said, I have no friends. The only people I talk to is my mom and stepdad upstairs. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's 11 something, or can't see the time on my phone, but yeah, it's after 11:30, something like that. I'm using my phone, so I don't know what time it is. But yeah, they're upstairs. They're in the bed asleep while I'm making this video. But they're the only ones I talk to. The problem is talking to them. They always make it feel like I'm interrupting them. They'll be watching TV or something, and I will barge in right in the middle of their TV show and want to talk to them. And I know it's disrespectful. It's a bad time. So, but just in general. But anytime I want to talk to them, they could not be doing anything. But let me just set it straight. They're busy people, so they're always doing something or have a list of things that they need to do or something. So it's hard wanting to talk to them and always feeling like it's never a good time. My mom, she'll listen to me. She'll listen to me anytime. I don't want to make it sound bad, because I love my mom to death. I don't want to say anything negative about her. So I'm not saying, it's nothing negative. It's just me stating how I feel. And that's part of, I feel like, unheard, and that my opinion does not matter. They always have some pushback to anything I got to say. My research has shown, listening to these autistic podcasts, and if any of y'all watching this that, wow, this video is going to be about as long as the first one. Any of y'all watching that knows about, that maybe an autism counselor or whatever, knows that a lot of people with autism are actually smarter than neurotypicals. And I believe that. Not to toot my own horn, but I believe I'm smarter than a lot of neurotypicals. The problem with that is neurotypicals are way more common in our society. So obviously, they're going to get their opinion heard first. When I go upstairs to talk to my parents, it's two of them against one. So, and this is their house. So obviously, what they say goes. It's their opinion over mine always, and I just got to respect that. If I go out into the world, people that are highly successful, my youngest brother, for example, he's a pilot, very successful. They plan to, when they retire, they plan to downsize and sell this house one day. My mom's already jumped on me about mentioning that because she thinks people's calling her and trying to buy her house right now. So the house is not for sale. Let me get that out there. It's not currently for sale. But when that time comes, if they ever sell it, like I said, it's not even up for discussion. This is just things that have come up in our conversations. Because when they retire, those that have retired probably know you can't, retirement income ain't very much. You can't live off retirement income. A lot of people can't. Not when you have a huge mortgage payment or something. I don't know what their mortgage payment is, but it's none of my business. But if and when they do sell the house, they'll say, they'll offer it to us kids here first, to the kids to buy. They'll offer it to, whoever wants to buy it. The problem is my little brother, who's the pilot, makes great money. But he let me just say he worked hard to get to where he's at, so I'm not dogging him at all, but he has a good paying job. He's going to get first dibs on buying it because he's the only one, and he's done said he wants to buy it. But I got to get off this topic because I've already been scolded as soon as I walked in the door from work about this. But yeah. But autistic people are very smart, a lot of them. Smarter. Some of them are ingeniouses. Albert Einstein was autistic and he was a genius, so study your history there. But I got to wrap this up because it's another 30-minute video. But just got to come up with a long-term goal about my future, what I'm going to do in the future. I need to make friends. I need to make good friends. Possibly find somebody that I trust. I trust people pretty easily. I probably shouldn't trust people as easily as I do, but maybe find a roommate at some point. Maybe find a girlfriend, maybe get married. I have the same dreams that anybody else does. But yeah, just been doing a lot of thinking about my future and what I'm going to do in the future. This video has now gone over 30 minutes. It is officially longer than my first video. But, so, yeah. Good night. Probably make another one tomorrow after I drive all day and get in my thoughts and stuff. But be thinking about a good name for a YouTube channel, so I can put all these videos in one YouTube group or something. And we'll talk again soon.